Hey guys, so today is Christmas Eve. If you are people who celebrate Christmas time. Um, anyways, in today's video, I wanted to give kind of an update to still trying to figure out sleep and really optimize it. It's something I've been trying to do for 5 years, maybe longer. I don't even know, but for as long as I've been paleo, probably not longer than that, obviously, but inside of that kind of 7, 8 years, I've been trying to figure out sleep because energy is the thing I'm always chasing. I want to be energetic throughout the day so that I can get the things I need to get done to move me closer to the goals, the dreams, the projects I'm working on. And I forget what I was attempting last time, but a couple things have changed since, and I'm pretty excited. And I've got some new information slash situations I think that are going to help me get to where I want to get to. So for one, I downloaded an app. It's a free app called Sleep Cycle, and I'm using that to track my sleep at night. You just put it on airplane mode on your bedside, and through I think your movements, how it picks up how you're moving, it can. It's probably not amazingly accurate, but it's something. It gives you data on your sleep. It can show you a graph on your deep, middle sleep, and awake cycles as you kind of go through your sleep cycles at night. It also picks up snoring. But it's just a way to start collecting data and get a better read on my sleep. The other great thing is it's got a smart alarm, meaning you set a window, the average is half an hour, for when you need to wake up, and it'll determine when you're in lighter sleep, and then it'll start its alarm. And what's great about it is it'll gently bring on the music you choose, and it'll gently bring on the light, the blue light. So it starts to illuminate the room because you've left your phone by your bedside with the screen up. So it'll start to kind of brighten and play music to slowly draw you out of bed so it's not so jarring and it's not hitting you in a deep sleep and just yanking you out of that, which is where typically if you ever woken up to an alarm and feel like you got hit by a truck, that's because you were in a deep sleep and your alarm jarred you out of that. And yeah, it's just not good. It doesn't really even matter how much you've slept at that point or how good your sleep was. That can wreck your awakefulness, your alertness, your energy levels for the whole day. But basically, what I've come back to, which I experimented a little bit when I was in Hawaii, and I've come back to, is sleeping with no alarm. Because I found I like waking up early, I like doing my morning routines, but I'm tired in the morning. I don't feel super good to go. Like meditation, I'm sometimes falling asleep. Reading, even though it's interesting books, I'm sometimes like dozing off. So these have always been kind of red flags, but I've been kind of ignoring them because I like the routine and the discipline of waking up extra early, having the house to myself when it's quiet in that kind of 4 5 a.m. where it's like the world's kind of asleep, so there's just this like hushness, and it feels really great to be able to be up at that hour, but it just is not working. And I keep hearing from some of the people I follow that getting to a place where you sleep without an alarm, because then you're actually waking up when your body is fully rested. But my problem is every time I've experimented with that, to be perfectly honest, I get levels of anxiety because I'm sleeping in more. I feel like my morning routine is rushed, and then I feel like my day is rushed. And so every time I've tried it, it hasn't worked because honestly, when I don't do an alarm, even the last couple of days, the first day I slept like 10 and a half hours. Yesterday was 8.5. Normally I'm doing like 6.5, 7.5. So it's like a lot more time sleeping. And sometimes when I tried it, I actually wasn't feeling better. But a couple things, again, I think is what's made this transition easier. And I'm equipped with a new piece of information that I think is really going to change the game. So one of it being right now that it's holiday season, I don't feel as pressured to be productive and get so much done. I don't feel like I'm running as hard, which has taken some of that pressure off, given me the ability to sleep in and sleep without an alarm and wake up and not feel like I'm missing out on my day and I'm not getting everything done that I need to. When in reality, that's all a mindset, because even like when I was waking up early, I'm getting tired, I'm taking naps, I'm just surviving off coffee, and so I'm probably I'm not being as efficient as I could be anyways, so it's reprogramming that. The other thing is digging deeper into, again, these people I follow, one of them being Tom Bilyeu, someone I follow pretty extensively, who talks a lot about not sleeping with an alarm, is saying that the transition period could be a long time. Is sleep debt is a real thing. I've known about that. Again, it's just kind of trying to ignore it. But I've known about sleep debt, and so understanding that the transition from going to no alarm to getting to a place where I'm only again sleeping 6.5, 7.5, maybe 9, but I think the science shows we actually don't need that much sleep. And so that's always been the problem, is in the beginning of going alarmless, I sleep a lot, and I struggle with that, and I can't get through that pain period initially to then find the harmony or the balance, or when I finally sink into the regular amount of sleep. And so that's knowing that going forward, I know there's going to be a certain amount of pain in terms of much more sleep now, not getting the same hours I'm used to every day, not waking up as early as I'm used to every day, but just getting through that, allowing my body to adjust, still having discipline, so having a bedtime, which haven't been great about, but trying to get better at, so having a consistent bedtime to get my body programmed into that sleep time, and then just finding its natural rhythm, which I believe a lot more now, again, having done more research, that other people who don't have alarms typically wake up the same time every single day. If they're going to bed around the same time, they wake up around the same time, and they get pretty much consistent the same amount of sleep. And so I have to just push. It's like anything, is short-term pain, long-term gratification. So I have to eat the short-term pain of sleeping more, but still not feeling necessarily that rested, and just giving it enough time, like a month, maybe 2 months. I'm trying to really tell myself that amount of time, so I'm not surprised if it does take a while, to just let my body adjust to that new cycle, to not needing an alarm, being intentional about going to bed, still doing a lot of sleep hygiene, like monitoring my caffeine, having a cutoff point at minimum 8 hours before you want to sleep, because 8 hours is the half-life of caffeine. So after 8 hours, half the amount of caffeine is still circulating your blood. So everyone recommends minimum 8 hours before bed you should be cutting caffeine. And then being better at not looking at screens an hour before bed. I have blue blockers on all of my devices, so it naturally, as the sun goes down, my phone and my computer both eliminate blue light, so that definitely helps. But just getting better at really following my night routine, which I'm not good at, but having that last hour be away from screens, where I journal, where I read, where I kind of do my bedtime stuff, and then actually being in bed at 9 o'clock every night, which is my desired bedtime, so that I can get the sleep I need and then still wake up early in the morning. So yeah, that's kind of the new update. Even what's been great is the last few days without an alarm, I definitely feel a lot better. I do feel more rested. I'm not falling asleep in my meditations. I'm actually alert and engaged when I'm reading. I'm not getting tired in the middle of the day, bonking, hitting a wall. I don't feel like I need caffeine or chocolate to fuel me, to be able to do just the things I need to do. I might have less hours in the day, but definitely more cognitive, more coherent, more energetic, more aware. So that's what I'm going to be continuing on throughout the holidays into the new year, and just really changing my habit around that and getting to a place of even accepting if I have to have 9 hours every night, if that becomes my rhythm, I just have to accept that I need that. I actually need that amount of sleep. My body needs that amount of sleep for whatever reason. But if I can be productive and active and awake throughout the day, then I just have to accept that 9 hours, and that knowing that if I cut that to 7.5, that extra hour and a half of time to do something isn't an equal exchange, because then I'm tired through the rest of my day. And actually, it's not an hours game, it's a focus game. And so, yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update, because I promised I would do one, I don't know, whenever the last sleep video I made, a couple months ago, something like that. So that's the new thing I'm on. I'm still using the sleep tracking app, just not with an alarm anymore. So I'm just turning it on when I go to bed, and then turning it off when I wake up, and it's still tracking all that data. And I know it's going to get better once I'm only half a week, 2 weeks into using it. It's just going to improve once I get a few months, half a year's worth of data in there. It'll have a much better sense, because it's all algorithmic based. It's intelligent. It bases it off of your sleep patterns, so it's not just following default, but it's using all of the information it's getting from everyone, and then using your information. It's amazing. I love technology. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with my sleep. That's what I'm going forward with, and so far the results are great. I'm sleeping more hours, but feeling remarkably better. And the other thing actually that really hit me is part of health. I've always been going for longevity, because I really believe I can accomplish a lot in a long life, and I don't want to sacrifice so much in the short term. And sleep's kind of been that. Is like I've forgot that actually sleep is a big part of longevity, and an extra hour or 2 hours every day when I'm tired to not do stuff over the course of a life actually isn't beneficial. If I can have cognitive focus, if I can be patient and expect a long, healthy life, which I'm mapping towards, and I don't think is actually that difficult. Like, I can expect to have a long, healthy life, that I actually need to map towards that, because I'll achieve more over a long, long period of time than I will about trying to just constantly be in sprint every day, hacking, getting an extra 30 to an hour and a half out of my day by sacrificing my sleep. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.